Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Wednesday, so that means that it's the midweek SPAC news and price update. Well, I'm going to give you a spoiler. Everything is red right now. There hasn't been a lot of good news lately, and the market is really struggling. I hope you guys watched my video yesterday and you took some precautions today. Hopefully it helped you a little bit. If you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend that you go and watch it first. But now let's talk about some of the updates. We'll look at some of the pricing and where the stocks are going. So today we're going to talk about LCA that's been having a really hard time, HCAC Canoo. We'll talk about Hyliion and then we'll talk about Lordstown. So please stay tuned. Of course, like and subscribe, and I'll see you right after the intro. All right, guys, so let's get started with LCA Golden Nugget Online. This stock has been doing really terribly in the past couple of days. In fact, it's been one of the worst SPACs in the past month now because of this drop. So if you guys see last month, right, it's gone down 2%, which is pretty bad considering that last time I did an update, they were up 30%. But since then, it's just falling off a cliff. So 1 month down 2%, 1 week down 14%, and 1 day down almost 12% if you include the after hours. So this has been really poor for this stock, and it's very difficult to explain because there hasn't been any negative news. In fact, yesterday in my video, I was talking about second wave that might be coming. Well, this is a stock that's been performing really, really well during the first wave. You guys know that their revenues are through the roof, and they had upwards of like 1% increase year over year in their revenues. And if there's a second wave and people stay home, this company might actually exceed their yearly projections. So, I mean, it's just not very congruent, but it is what it is, right? The stock market, people are just not liking the stock. And so right now, people are taking some of the money out. So yesterday, it fell, it's right at the open, right? It started falling, which doesn't match what the SPY did. The SPY yesterday morning was actually going up. So as the SPY was going up yesterday morning, LCA was going down right there. So there's just not a lot of support for this stock right now. So you want to be really careful. I think I told you guys yesterday that I sold a lot of shares at $17. So I was able to save this part. I hope some of you guys took my advice. Entertainment, right? Not advice. And protected yourself with this because right now it's sitting at one of its old support around 1550 or rather 1450. And if it goes through there, after that, we're in trouble because previous to that, remember, it went for weeks and months. It's hovered between about 1250 and 1450, right? It hit that ceiling 3 times before going up. So you guys need to be really careful about this one. All the fundamentals of the company are still very good, but in the short term, this company has no momentum, and you really want to make sure that you're not losing too much with this stock because right now there's not a lot holding it. There's literally no buyers, as you can see with MACD right now. The sellers are in full control, way oversold. So sometimes I've talked about how well when it's oversold is a time to buy. But in a case like this, you want to wait until it hits a plateau, right? That something like that's going to support it. Because if you buy now, you might just be throwing your money out the window. Nothing makes it so that it can't go back to 1250 or something like that. So I would really, really wait until you start to see it bottom out, and then you can buy shares if that's something that you want. But it feels to me like analyzing, I read about it all day. It just feels the only explanation is that people just don't want to jump on with Fertitta. Like people just will not accept that he's on both sides of the transaction. So because of that, it's been taking a lot of momentum away. So be really careful with this stock. I love it long term, but short term, I mean, I'm going to wait until it really bottoms out before I buy more shares for the future. The economy is too uncertain right now, like we talked about it. So until they have good news or it bottoms out, it's just not worth putting more money into this one. All right, guys, next up we've got HCAC that's going to be merging with Canoo. This is another stock that's been doing very poorly in the past week, but I like it a lot more than LCA. You guys know it's my top pick for this month, and I'll explain it a little bit why. Right now, as you can see, it lost 10% in the past week, got it didn't do well today. Again, -6%, and even the warrants, I've lost a lot. I mean, I had these warrants above $3. I didn't pay $3, but I mean, I had a lot of profits into them, and now it's just bleeding. But the thing is that when you look at HCAC, the thing that I really like about it, you guys know that I'm bullish on this company itself, but when you look at the 1125, right now, $10 is your friend because that's what protects you. That's the hard floor. That's the money that they have in trust, right? So if the stock market doesn't do well, some of the SPACs might go to $10 or less than $10, but then you could redeem your shares and then you'd get $10 back. So that gives you a lot of protection. This company can go down to $5. I couldn't care less because I would just redeem and get more than $10 back because as of right now, they have, from my sources say that they have about 1036 in the trust account per share, meaning that out of 1125, you have about 90 cents that is at risk at 1125. So this is a company that has a lot of potential and very little risk right now. So this is kind of the perfect stock as far as EV companies go when it comes to the next few months. Now, if we look at the stock itself, right, same thing. I mean, it hasn't been doing well at all since the 15th, right? That's when it peaked. And since then, it's been on a downtrend. Again, same thing. Sellers are in full control. This one on our side doesn't say it's oversold yet. So we'll have to see. I mean, this is a stock that hasn't had a lot of momentum in the past several months, right, since they announced it, or several weeks. I don't know exactly. I think it's been 32 or 33 days since they announced the merger. But anyway, so it had a nice run up here, and then all of a sudden it just fell off a cliff with the rest of the market. So we'll have to see what happens with this stock. This one I really like still. And guys, look out tomorrow. Everyone's talking about Tesla Battery Day, but tomorrow is Canoo Skateboard Day, 9/24/20. So that's why I actually I was thinking about selling my warrants right as it was coming down. But I was like, maybe they'll announce something good and people are going to be a little bit more enthusiastic about the stock. So we'll have to see what happens tomorrow. Today they posted this video, so not sure exactly what they'll announce tomorrow, but hopefully it's going to be big. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about this video? Is it going to be something big or is it going to just show the skateboard again, which everyone already knows about? We'll have to see what happens. Again, I'm sorry I say that a lot, but I mean, all the stocks are just falling today. So the only thing you want to do is, as I mentioned, try to measure your risk. I made it so after I was talking to you guys yesterday about how to protect your portfolio, I basically rearranged my entire portfolio in the past 2 days where my downside risk for the next 2 months is about $5,000. So no matter what happens, if everything goes wrong, I'm only going to lose $5,000. And those stocks, right, all of the stocks I've been talking about that are close to the $10 redemption rate, that's one of the reasons why. This gives you a lot of protection. So one last thing to talk about with Canoo, and this is more for fun, is I'm part of the first wave, right? Their club thing, and there's a referral code. So I added it in the description. If you guys want to sign up, it's free, and I don't even make money out of it. It's just for fun. Right now, for this week in the leaderboard, I'm at rank 20. I referred 3 people, so it would be kind of fun to jump up the leaderboard. If you guys want to sign up, again, it's free, and you'll get some updates from the company. All right, so now let's move on to Hyliion, which I haven't talked about in a little while. So what's going on with Hyliion? Well, again, it's another SPAC that's struggling, but it's not doing that bad, honestly. So far, it's holding its own. It's down 2% in the past week. Now, yes, today, if you look at it, it's not doing great. It's down 8% for the day, including after hours. But when you look at the chart, you can see that it's kind of bleeding. It's not dropping sharply down like some of the other stocks. We look at DPHC, that one's dropping much sharper. So I want you guys to notice also this was a low that it had bounced off of, right? So now it's going to be considered one of the supports. So at 42.32. So right now it's still above it, right? So we'll have to keep monitoring that. If by the end of the week it goes below 42.32, I mean, I would be very, very worried about this investment because there's a long way down after that. But if it can stabilize here in the mid 40s as it has so far, or bounce off of it, then it's going to be pretty good. So again, Monday is going to be the shareholder meeting to vote on the merger. So September 28th at 9:30, you can vote for it. And now, if you're looking to buy more shares right now, if you don't want to wait, right? Again, as I mentioned all of the time, I always suggest that you wait until it bottoms out, right? Right now, the sellers are in control. Wait until it bottoms out and then it goes back up. But if you want to buy more into this stock, I would still look for the warrants. I mean, look at how stable they've been. The past several weeks that we talked about the warrants, even though the stock's come down, they're still at $20. So the stock was at $58 and this was about 24. Now it's dropped to the low 40s and it's still $21. So the warrants have been very stable. And right now it gives you a redemption price of 32.30. So again, still a pretty good discount on the share price of 44.86. So again, for those of you that aren't familiar with the warrants, which I'll have a video coming out soon about warrants, but you're going to have to wait a certain amount of time before you can exercise them. But if you're into this stock long term, you really believe in the company, and you don't care about the short term price action, well, just go with the warrants, I mean, and exercise them in 30 days, and then you'll have a discount and you'll be good to go for the rest of the year. All right, and in the close, let's talk about DPHC Lordstown. So this company has been struggling, and I've given a lot of warnings about this company over the past few weeks, and people didn't listen. People said I was wrong. People gave me all the good reasons why this stock was amazing. So it's not a pat myself on the back. I just don't want you guys to lose more money than you need to. Here's why this company is a problem. So right now it's down 12% in the past week, and then it's down 16% in the past today. But when you look at it for 1 month, right, 68%, and look at 3 months, up 134%, which includes that drop recently. So why is this a problem? Well, all of the guys that have been writing comments, right, telling me why this company is amazing, and I agree, the company has potential. I made a review on it, and I said it was a good company. But all of you guys probably got into the stock between like 10 and 17. Maybe you got into it like by 20, right? So all of you guys got into it here. But now I want you to ask yourself, the people that got into the stock at like 20, 25, 27 and peaked at 31.40, do you believe that these are people that believe in this company long term, or are they what I keep calling the momentum chasers? You've seen this with Tesla, you've seen this with this stock, right? Those are people that are latching onto the momentum and they're after short-term profits. They don't care about this company long term. So as the company goes up, they keep latching onto it, and as soon as it starts to go down, they're just going to keep selling and dumping their shares. So again, it's not that I don't like the company, it's that at $31, I just could not recommend people buy this stock long-term buy and hold. The price just did not make sense, and this is why now we're seeing why. So one of the explanations that people have been giving about this stock is that this week Jim Cramer mentioned that it was not a good buy, right? He told one person to actually sell, and that would have triggered it according to people. I just don't buy it, right? As I mentioned, when you look at the stock, it was just not realistic to go 133.70% over the past 3 months. So at this point, this stock was valued higher than Hyliion at the same period. Right, 6 weeks into announcing the merger, right, this stock was valued more than Hyliion was. So I'll let you take your own conclusions, but if it was me, right, I would be selling this stock. Anything above like $18, right, about here, right, to me is way overvalued for this stock and much, much, much too risky. So if you're into it already and you have a low cost basis, then just hold, like no problem. Just keep going with the stock. Hold it long term. You believe in it, you like it, no problem. But if you were speculating on this stock, right, and you bought in the 20s, just get out of this stock. I mean, it's not a good risk versus reward play. So if we look at it, that's what I was telling you. Look at how it was pretty stable in the $17 range. Then it had that massive run up, and now it's just going to keep dropping because who's going to be buying this stock right now, right? As I mentioned, all the people that believe in this stock, they were in already at 17. So right now the sellers are in full control. It's not, well, it's borderline oversold on RSI, but not quite. So what are the positive catalysts for the stock in the next few weeks? I can't really think of that many. So odds are, until it reaches that $17, I would not touch it if I were you. Of course, it's your money. I'm not your financial advisor. You can invest it the way you want. But again, until 17, it's just not good risk versus reward compared to some of the other stocks. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tell me in the comments how I'm wrong and why this stock's a good deal at $24. I can't wait to hear it. We'll talk about it. But until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video, probably talking about the overall market.